Hello and welcome to Youth in Sports, where every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. we feature special guests from near and far. The program is sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, providing certified athletic trainers to more than 30 area high schools and colleges. First State Orthopedics, the team taking care of Delaware with a commitment to excellence. And Wilmington University, where Youth in Sports is produced by the College of Technology's students and faculty. And now, from the studio at President Jack Barcelona's Wilmington University, your hosts for Youth in Sports, ALSSM Mr. Sports Medicine 2012, Dr. Michael Axe, UD and St. Elizabeth's own Dr. Joseph Strait, and co-founder of Youth in Sports, Mr. Walter Laudine.
Good evening. Welcome to Youth in Sports. I'm Walter Laudine.
I'm Dr. Joseph Strait.
And I'm Dr. Michael Axe, and we're going to have the pleasure of having the 2013 National Cheerleading Champions, our own Wilmington University, where we film this every week.
Wait a minute. We did this
Two-time
already.
national champions.
We did the cheerleading champions already. They were cheerleading champions. How many times are they cheerleading champions?
This is now the second time.
It's only been like 2 weeks, hasn't it?
Well, it's been, in your mind, 2 weeks.
I'll tell you what, when you get older, it just leaves.
Yeah,
you know?
but the thing is, they remember it being 2 times.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're great, and Coach Jeffrey Martino does a great job. Salazy Adam, alumni, and
Class of what?
95.
Class of 95 at Sally.
Yes.
Man, 95 sounds like recent, you know?
It does.
To me, the 1960s sound recent.
You should know your son.
You know Craig?
Craig.
Claudine.
92, he graduated.
No, 94.
92.
It was my
Did
year.
he graduate? I don't even remember.
Whose son was it?
He doesn't know when his son graduated. We're going to move on to Jeff.
Jeff, how long have you been coaching?
This will be my 7th year.
7th year, 2 championships?
Not too
Anyone
bad.
before that? Or?
When I chaired at University of Delaware, we won in 2001.
Excellent, excellent. What does it take to be you know what it takes to be a great football coach, basketball coach? What does it take to be a great cheerleader coach?
Really, you just got to know your kids. You got to know what motivates them, how to talk to them, how to coach them.
And what about the choreography and all that other stuff?
We hire people to do that.
You hire people to do that. The uniform?
We go to the experts for that.
I'll tell you, I'm impressed because I on ESPN, they have some of these cheerleading competitions. They're unbelievable.
It's not a sport per se, but it's done by athletes.
And I know the reason for that because I watched an hour-and-a-half show about why it wasn't a sport, and it has a lot to do with politics and money.
Sure.
And I think it's wrong.
Doesn't have to do with pulse rate and
No. I mean,
Athletic
these
ability
guys
is,
are just as athletic as just about any other sport. But one of the things I was amazed with is this one woman who was an elderly woman, and she was against it naming a sport, and it's all about money. The one company that makes all the uniforms, you know, Brad Gilbert, named after the hockey player of the Rangers for years ago, and beautiful Ashley Unruh, who Brad brought with her when from down in Lower Cape May Regional. Wow.
Cape May, New Jersey.
So how many, Jeffrey? How many people are on the cheerleading squad?
This year we're going to have 25.
Wow.
Yes, big squad.
Will we go from small to big then?
No, our competition will only have 4 guys, so then we'll be labeled as a small co-ed team.
So you won the small co-ed championship for Division II.
Correct.
Okay. And so what's the maximum number you can have on your squad participating?
16, 4 guys and 12 females.
Now, do you have to have 4 guys?
Pretty much to be competitive, yes. Because they can do a lot more of the lifts and basket tosses, and you are judged based on how many co-ed stunts you can do compared to just all girl stunts.
You know,
so,
we messed up. We should have given Calvin some tapes of you because they're really fantastic.
it's
and shown it on the show. Maybe we can still do that.
It's always hard to do. It's always hard to do that.
We'll talk to Calvin
later. But they
later.
can come and find. You have your tapes available on your website, correct?
yeah, if you go to varsity.com, you can look for UCA College Nationals 2013 and search the box for Wilmington, and you'll see all 3 of our performances from the weekend.
Jeff, I know we're talking about college, and then you're going into congratulations on winning the championship, but
Thank you.
How did you get into this? I mean, that's always...
You have to
How
know
does
that
this
his
happen?
daughter has been cheering since she's been 3.
Oh, it just happens that I believe he used to work there.
Yes, yes.
Or-
So it's a long story, but at University of Delaware, I went as a freshman, moved into Dickinson C, and the girl that was in the dorm next door, she was recruited for cheerleading and said, "Hey Jeff, why don't you come out and throw me up in the air?" And
I want to. Right?
she was pretty good looking, and the rest of the team was pretty good looking, and I was hooked ever since.
No. She says, "Why don't you throw me up and catch me?"
That's right. That's right.
So it started with you in college.
Yeah, I wrestled in high school, and it's just an easy transition for wrestlers to go right into cheerleading, because it's a lot of explosive movements and quick, just very athletic type.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people don't know, that it's so athletic and strength.
Right.
I mean, look at Brad. I mean, he's a strong guy, got those big arms, and you got to have strong guys.
Yeah, I used to look like Brad, 15 years ago.
Yeah, me too, Jeff. Me too.
I don't think I ever got that.
So, go ahead.
It's just, I mean, you started in college.
Right.
You started doing, how did you learn the tumbling? How did you learn, I mean?
From being in wrestling, it's pretty similar movement. So I learned how to do a backflip, a somersault in like 5 minutes, just because I was in shape and didn't have any fear. And then just picked it up through the years. Started on their JV squad and moved up, to the varsity and was captain of their championship team in 2001.
Now, you just had your tryouts.
Yes, for Wilmington.
For Wilmington, and so we'll have the opportunity to see next year's championship team. What did you look for in your tryouts? What are the basic skill sets? So you think you want to be at Wilmington University and be a part of a national championship team? You better listen up to what you're going to be asked to do in the tryouts. So what does a tryout consist? What do they have to come prepared to do or perform in front of you and your judges?
Well, they're going to have to demonstrate their tumbling capabilities. So standing back tuck, standing back handspring, and a running pass. At least a round off back handspring to be eligible.
What's a running pass?
So when you start to run and go into a round off and then do a somersault after that.
Oh, okay.
When you see it, they usually end up mid-court when they're doing cheerleading at a basketball game.
Similar to gymnastics.
I was just going to say, if you watch gymnastics in the Olympics, it's when they start in one end of the corner and run.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, I don't know how they do it. They just keep going.
And then we're going to look for...
Can all you guys do that?
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah. Do you want to do it? No.
That would make for good TV.
No, Walter trying would make for good TV.
Yeah, Mike hurt me one time we were doing something.
And then they're going to have to show how they lift other athletes stunning, either they're a flyer or a base, and then how fast they can pick up the material. So we're going to teach them different sidelines and a partner dance that they put together.
I'm going to ask Ashley, but do the girls have to be strong too? I mean, I know they have to be in shape.
Right.
But Ashley, do girls have to be strong too?
Yeah, you have to be able to also lift girls. I'm a flyer, but also I go on top of another girl, and they throw another girl on top of me.
Wow.
So.
Unbelievable.
And also, there's strength needed for these tumbling passes.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
To be able to use your arms to throw your own weight, and some of you guys can probably do 2 flips at a time.
Well, does it matter, and I know this is probably a sexist question, does it matter that you got a beautiful girl like Ashley there, and I know some of the other girls that were on the show before, and the guys, good-looking people. Does that help?
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt, right?
Great answer.
Yes.
Well, they do. They have the way their team looks and how they perform, the symmetry for which they have. So if they try to make them morphogenically similar on both sides. It's all about symmetry,
right?
And it's all about unison.
Wait, I say that word again. Morphogenically.
Yeah,
what the hell does that mean?
That means that if you're a little short and a little heavy, you want to have somebody opposite you that's a little short and a little heavy. Okay.
So I'm morphogenic?
No. If someone was like you, would be morphogenic.
Oh, okay.
If they found another just like you, you want to be like Brad.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was like Brad.
Morphogenically, it ain't happening.
I don't think we can make you that.
I lost 50 pounds.
You gained 49 of it back.
I did. In fact, I gained 53 of it back.
We're not counting.
But I think it's real impressive to be a champion at anything, because in today's world, everybody is, trying for that extra edge. We were just talking about that on another show, where, what's an edge for a cheerleader coach? You practice more, the better facilities.
No, this is hard. Talk about your practice schedule. Talk about this is when, he kids about the fact that he has a choreographer and some other people, but it's Jeff and who's your other staff people?
Ashley Mundy is my assistant coach.
And so you have these, Ashley and Jeff, responsible for coordinating schedules to get enough people there.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
Well, these people work. They do other things. Right. They have classes. They work. And they have to get it all done, but you have this camp you go to every year that...
Yeah, University of Scranton, we go to camp. They teach us material, new stunning things that are coming out in the industry. So it's great for team bonding. They get away from campus, live on in the dorms. And
how long is camp, Jeff?
4 days. 4 days.
Now, Jeff, you said you just had tryouts.
Yes.
How many people tried out?
We had 28 people there.
Excellent. And of those 28, how many do you think are ready to...
Well, I think we have a good 20 people that can be on the competition floor next year. And
so
then
your team,
5 are developing.
So you have 20 people and then 5 alternates?
That's how.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting for those 16 spots. So small co-ed is like putting together a puzzle. You need to have 4 really good guys. You need to have 6 flyers, girls like Ashley that go in the air. And then you're going to need 6 female bases that lift the girls in the air. So it's just putting together the puzzle.
That
seems a lot of complicated.
Yeah, it seems like. So how much do you practice, Jeff?
We practice 3 days a week. Start at 9 p.m. and go till 11 p.m.
Now, is there a rule for that, like a rule for other sports where you can only practice a certain amount of time?
No, we're not regulated by the NCAA, but we try to be as flexible as possible, make sure the practices are efficient, well run, so that they can get other things done like their schoolwork and go to work. Some of my kids work full time as well.
Wow.
9 to 11.
We're going to talk to Brad Gilbert and Ashley Uru right after on the next break. But
we have a couple minutes more in this.
Yeah, I want to talk to Jeff about the fact that he has to have at least 4 guys.
Yes.
So of the 20-some people that tried out, how many guys tried out?
We have 6.
Now it's
I took all the guys.
Jeff, it's no more where somebody says, "Oh man, you're a cheerleader." It does. Everybody knows now what a strength position that is.
Well, there's fewer wrestling programs. There's no men's gymnastic program, or very few around. Where are these folks that used to be wrestlers and gymnasts? What are they going to do? Well, what better place to do it?
That is the biggest point right there.
It's like, yeah, let's get it done. There's a place for you to get out and compete. And if you think it's not competition, you should see the competition. And we're talking about there's no recovery. Okay? If you're at that level, and we're going to get to Brad and talk about the actual experience, what happened at Nationals from a captain standpoint, similar to what we did last year. But it is very hard to coordinate. In my book, it is a sport. Okay?
Oh, no, there's no question about that. It's just a matter of politics and money. Right.
The DIAA, it is a sport. Now, they have to go through the same physicals and so forth. We don't recognize it per se, but I will offer to you that it will be forthcoming. And I have to check. We may have put it into that status, and that's one of the questions in our previous shows. We didn't talk to Kevin Charles about why it isn't or when it's coming or
I don't think you can really talk about that because, like I said, it's a monetary and it's a political issue, and I don't think that Kevin wants to stay away from that, and probably rightly so.
And the teams does your team, the folks that cheerlead for your team, do they also cheerlead for basketball? Is that the same group?
It's the same group, so they're both supportive, and that's our main mission.
And many times that's not the case. We're going to go to a break and come back right after this, talking about Wilmington University's Championship Cheerleaders 2013.
I will keep dancing on point, even if it hurts.
My arm is killing me. I don't know if I can pitch another ball. But I'll just play through the pain anyway.
I have to do the big stunts. To look better than the other cheerleaders, our tosses are bigger.
My elbow really aches, but I've got to eat better.
Don't tell them it hurts. They'll take you out of the game if you do. I have to push harder if I'm going to get a scholarship. I'm feeling dizzy, but I don't want to tell anyone.
Everyone's counting on me. I can't rest now.
Nearly 50% of all sports injuries sustained by middle and high school students are from overuse. Don't play through the pain. See your healthcare provider and follow their instructions for rest and recovery. Take the pledge. Become an advocate for sports safety. Visit stopsportsinjuries.org.
Go team!
Hi, we're back on Youth in Sports at beautiful Wilmington University, and we've got the Wilmington Cheerleaders, the champions, with their rings. There's 2 rings. Jeff's got 2 rings. In fact, Jeff's got a ring from University of Delaware. Brad's got a ring.
2 rings. They both have. He and Ashley.
University of Delaware.
2012 and 2013
I think we can go back to
both of them.
Okay.
Did we get them?
Good.
Great.
Yeah, we got them. Yep.
Beautiful rings, and I think that was
Made
nice.
possible by our vice president of
University.
Of the university. She has a special title within the vice presidency, Laverne Harmon, who cheerleading is very near and dear to her heart and has been forever. I think it had a lot to do with her being a cheerleader
There you go.
when she was in high school and college and probably before that, but I may be. And she still looks good enough and she can get it done, Walter.
There you go.
She hasn't aged like you.
Hey, you remember Obama got in trouble about that?
About what? Aging?
No, about saying something nice about a judicial appointee.
I think he was just so surprised.
let's
We're not surprised that the cheerleaders reflect a certain cosmesis.
There you go. Well, using those words tonight. Let's talk to Brad Gilbert. And Brad has been cheerleading now for 7 years, Brad?
7 years in college, 13 years total.
How is that possible? That you can cheer for 7 years?
Well, you can't anymore, right, Brad?
Cannot anymore. They installed a rule that you can only.
It was the Brad Gilbert rule.
Pretty much, yeah. You can only compete 5 times. That doesn't mean you can't cheer on the squad. Just competitively at the competition we compete at.
To be a champion,
5 times.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Now, you started University of Delaware cheering?
University of Delaware for 2 years.
And you won a championship there?
I did not.
Oh, you did not?
Second
Jeffrey
place
did.
2 years in a row.
Jeffrey did.
Yes, he won it back in 01.
Now, when you were at the University of Delaware, how many schools competed in your group?
In our division, it was 5.
And what about at Wilmington?
We had 9.
Last year was 9.
Is it a different level?
10.
I'm just guessing. Small, co-ed versus.
Delaware has what? How 5 times the students, 10 times the students.
Explain to us how that works. Like,
so depending
when you go
on
to nationals, it's set up in different groups. I understand that, but how are they broken down?
Yeah, it's 1A, so like the Kentucky, Tennessee, and then you have Division 1 like University of Delaware and Hofstra. Then you have Division 2 like us.
Gotcha.
So based on your supportive cheerleading, you're cheering on your men's and women's basketball team and maybe a football team, and depending on what division they compete at.
In.
Well, Brad, Jeff was saying that some schools have certain competition cheerleading squads, and then they have another squad that cheers for the basketball team and whatever.
Correct.
Did they do that at Delaware?
At Delaware, when I was there, no. We had one squad and we did everything. I did a basketball, volleyball, football game, and practice the same week.
Wow.
Now they installed an all-girl team and they share the responsibilities together.
How did you get involved in cheer? You said you cheered in high school, right?
Yes.
At least
Now,
6 years before.
Is that...
He did it before it was
He had
cool.
had at least 6 years before he went to college, because it was 13 total.
I understand that. That's why I'm getting there. I'm not just a pretty face, Jeff.
No, grade school.
Now, did you cheer at Lower Cape? Is that where you cheered?
I actually cheered outside of high school. I was a 3-sport athlete in high school, and then at night I would go to cheerleading practice, competing on just a strictly competitive cheerleading squad.
Boy, you're a gamer. You must have been some really hot girls like Ashley at the cheerleading game.
6 years now, so.
3-sport athlete. You never got any, nobody ever said to you, hey, Jeff, Brad, what are you doing?
No, I mean, I got teased, obviously. I mean, you go back on the whole cheerleading thing. For a while I did get teased, but
yeah, but when they saw
see
what
me
you
around
did,
certain people.
What was the fall sports what was the sports you played?
Basketball, soccer, and I did baseball a few years.
So when they saw what you did, like, I can't do that.
It happened all the time, to be honest. But you still get made fun of. I think it was honestly of jealousy. To be, I mean,
yeah, be around all these
in high school,
girls,
right? I was around girls.
Why can't we get more guys out? Why is it you? I know you're actively out there recruiting young people from high school and the former gymnasts and wrestlers that are at Wilmington U or would like to come to Wilmington U, and you have the flexibility that they have at this institution is truly remarkable.
Yeah,
right? I just take my hat off to them. If you don't get an education here, it's because you didn't want it. But getting back to your, why don't we get more guys out? With there's so many gymnasts out of work and wrestlers out of work because they can't play in college, and why aren't we getting more? They don't know, or they don't want to, or what is it?
Honestly, the hardest part is getting them in the door. I've found out that once you get a friend of yours or someone you know in that door to a practice or anything, and they start grabbing the girls, them in the air, things like that, they stay almost 100% of the time.
Well, another thing too, Brad, is you don't see it in the papers. I mean, I don't know any other shows that emphasize cheerleading beside ours. You don't get the publicity.
Especially from a male side. I agree with that.
Yeah, you don't get the
male
publicity.
Side.
The only thing you do get now is the ESPN that picked it up, only because it's popular. Like in Texas and places like that. I mean, it's usually popular.
You somebody to get a spot in the team.
Exactly.
You're seeing national championships on ESPN, but the other thing is you don't see it in professional sports. You don't see men as cheerleaders in professional sports.
Well,
so I think there's a lack of knowledge out there for young athletes that, this is a athletic sport. This is something that athletes go into, that guys who have played other sports transition into. So I think that is one of the biggest things.
I know a lot of guys who play their sports who wish they actually cheered or could go back to school and cheer.
Really?
We do get that a lot, yes.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yep.
Now, is there like a height or a weight requirement? I mean, I know they've got to be able to do some of the things that Brad can do.
A skills requirement.
Skill requirement,
right.
Yeah. You have to have 4 guys that have kind of the same strength level?
Yeah, so they're able to hold a flyer by themselves.
Okay.
So yes, they have to have the strength and the.
Do they
what's the average? What's
Yes.
the average flyer weigh? What's the upper limit that you'll let somebody go up?
Probably, there's no requirement, but you'll find flyers between 100 and 115 pounds.
You remember what Evgeny Platov said? The
hurt his
Russian.
back.
Yeah, he
That's
said
right.
she got too big. I get rid of her.
Hurt his back. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case. So let's take you through a scenario, Brad, that might make sense here at Wilmington. So we have someone who played 4 years of soccer at the University of Delaware, but is coming here for a graduate degree.
Correct.
Okay. So they could actually do a master's level, which takes 2 years, and go on and get their doctorate, which could take 3 years. So in that scenario, having never participated at the national level in any competitions, because it's 5 years of competition, that person could still be at age 30 participating in cheerleading. Am I correct?
Yes.
I know people who are in their 30s that competed this year at our nationals on different teams.
Well, how old would you say? Because I'm going to try out. How old would you say the oldest male would be?
And you saw at the nationals.
We had one this year was 28, another one was 27.
Okay, so and then that's probably the. What's the prime of your strength in the late 20s?
They're still pretty good. No, they're 27. They're still getting it done. Yeah. If you look at the national weightlifting people in the Olympics, most of them are in their mid 20s.
Mid 20s.
Yeah, it takes a while to get it done. So that they're still able to get it done.
So Brad,
so do you guys, before you get ready for the competition, do the guys start sucking weight like they did because they know they're going to be on national television? It adds a little 10 pounds to your look. Do you think about that? Now be honest, Brad. What did you do to make yourself look buff going out there? Did you drop a little weight?
No. To be honest, it's the uniform. Our uniforms aren't like T-shirts. They actually have elastic on our arms. So if you get your,
you say that Laverne got
get a little elastic a little tight, you just pull it up a little bit. It makes you seem like your arms bigger.
Like that Saturday Night Live guy.
Little pump up.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's
Brad, give us an idea of Jeff says that you guys start in August and go till
end of February.
End of February. Give us an idea of your schedule. Like, for example, when you start in August, it's hot, but you're indoors. So
no, not necessarily.
Not necessarily?
They want to talk about Scranton and how air conditioned it is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, give us an idea of your schedule, Brad, as far as when cheerleading starts.
Take us up through the championship. Start us with, you tried out again, okay?
All right,
okay, did he make you try out? Or did he have you
every year you try it again. Yes.
Really?
Okay.
Yep.
And you have to do those. You have to do those same basic skills.
7 years.
Yeah, you try out with your hardest skill you can do, but one skill that you can do consistently.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So this happened. This show is being filmed in April. They just had their beautiful banquet this just past week celebrating their national championship.
Is that when you got your rings?
Yes.
Banquet? Cool.
And the tryouts were before that, just right before?
Yeah, 2 days before.
2 days before. So Saturday of that week, they tried out.
Correct.
Now, they know in April. When's the next time they get together again? Physicals. Okay, they get together at physicals, and usually that's a quickie we run through that we do on the folks that are coming back, and then they go through the same physicals that our soccer players and our basketball players do. Again, because we at Wilmington University feel that the sport deserves that kind of attention.
Do they have the protection that you were talking about for a concussion?
Oh no, they're pretty good. We've had on 2.
No, but do they have that protection? Like, for example, if they have a catastrophic injury,
Are you talking about an insurance policy through the school is what you're saying?
Same blanket policy.
I thought you meant the treatment.
That's the high school.
Mike takes care of them just like he takes care of.
Okay. So what happens after this? How many times do you practice in August?
August, right after we do practices, we also do PR events with the community and with the school. You'll see us at new student orientation. We'll come in, we'll throw stunts, we'll kind of get the new students knowing about our school, excited to come to the school, and make them known who we are.
When you do that, do you ever get any more people that say, "Hey, gee, I missed the tryouts. I really get involved"? Could you?
Yeah, if we have a need at the end of the summer, we could definitely add people to the team.
Oh, okay, so that's a good PR thing.
So that happened in July. So what have you done after the banquet? You have your team that you're going to bring into camp. So what happens? Do you get together before July? In June? Do you get together in May or June? We
see each other twice, 3 times a month. We do team bonding and also practices, kind of getting ready before camp, because for us, we go to camp, we do learn things. We also try to, beginning of August, second weekend. And we try to go to camp to learn a lot and also show that we are a great team, we're together, we're a family. So we want to know about each other beforehand, so we'll come together about a week before camp and have practices up till camp, so everybody knows what we do at basketball games and what we want to be as Wilmington cheerleaders.
I know that you guys' schedule is hard because you guys are mostly, I'm guessing, graduates. Some of you guys are graduates. Some of you are full-time, workers, out doing, a full-time job and then come in doing practice. But how much you guys get to hang out together? Do you guys get together and do stuff together as a team?
I mean, we're not having on-campus housing. It is a little bit harder, but at the same time, because our practices are at night and we have things during the day, a lot of people will stay around, and so we'll always get food together, things like that. We'll go out to eat after practice. So, I mean, we do see each other a lot, yeah.
And I would too, if they all look like Ashley. I mean, I'd be living there. We got less than a minute left, 30 seconds left, but we're going to come back and talk to Ashley and find out what kind of schedule she has.
So you went to camp in August, okay, and you got back here in September, right? Good, okay. And then once school starts, what happens?
Practice 3 times a week, and then a few PR events here or there, up in Wilmington and around the school, and then basketball season starts. From there, we get into even more practices before nationals, and then no Christmas break, move right into nationals, and that's it.
Come back right after this.
What does opportunity mean to you? At Wilmington University, it means providing a personalized educational experience where students learn anywhere at any time. Wilmington University provides a variety of ways to complete your degree. Choose the flexibility of online learning, or attend classes during the day, in the evening, or on weekends at locations throughout the region. It's your degree. Choose how you earn it. Personalized education, affordable tuition. That's the difference at Wilmington University. What does opportunity mean to you? At Wilmington University, it means finding an innovative degree program that fits your goals and prepares you for a successful career. It means finding a school that fits your life. We know the importance of providing individual attention, affordable tuition, and unparalleled flexibility and service. Because at Wilmington University, it's not about meeting your expectations, it's about exceeding them. Personalized education, affordable tuition, that's the difference at Wilmington University.
All right, we're back on Youth in Sports at beautiful Wilmington University with the Wilmington cheerleading champions the second time. They got their rings, they had a banquet, and we're going to talk to the young lady cheerleader, Ashley Uru, from Lower Cape May Regional High School.
Yep.
And then...
Coincidence,
right.
I cheered for him while he played sports.
Did you really?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. Now, Ashley, when you were in high school, did you cheer down before high school?
Yeah, I started when I was 8 years old.
Doing what? Cheerleading for who?
Rec team.
Oh, okay.
Until I was in 7th grade, and then I cheered for my school, and then I cheered competitive cheerleading.
Ashley, when you started, did you do any gymnastics, or was it all cheerleading?
All cheerleading.
So you kind of started at the base and then worked your way up to where it is now. Now, when did you come to Wilmington University? How long after you left high school did you come to Wilmington University? Oh, you went to community college.
Yes, I took a year and a half off, and I went to community school for about a year and a half, and then I came to Wilmington because Brad transferred here, and we're friends, so we came here, and we were dating.
Did you miss cheerleading?
No, because I was still cheering for an all-star team while I was at my community school.
Now, how did you get, Ashley, from, like regular cheerleading when you're young is a lot different because, when I was with the Brandon Warriors, we had the cute little cheerleaders and everything. But then you get to all the stuff that you guys do. How did you get from point A to point B?
Jeff, when I came to cheer at college, it was a lot different than All-Star. And Jeff was a great coach, so he taught me how to transfer from All-Star to college.
So really, it was a learning experience when you came to Wilmington University. Now, how long, what year are you in?
I'm in grad school. This is my first year of grad school.
Great. What's your, what do you?
Counseling.
Counseling. Would you like to be a?
Guidance counselor.
Guidance counselor at school?
Yep.
Cool.
How much difference is there from all-star cheerleading moving on to college?
Mainly the stunting. In all-star, you can't do backflips and front flips in the air. College, you can. All-star, you can't put 3 girls on top of each other. College, you can.
Now, how did you, I mean, that's tough. I see, these people doing that stuff, and I'm just amazed. How did you get from not doing that? Did Jeff teach you all that stuff to do the flips in the air and the back flips?
Yep.
Jeff, how tough is that to teach somebody to do that? Can you teach me to do that?
Well, Ashley and Brad are great athletes, so
I assume that they're good athletes.
If you're in good shape, anything is possible.
How long does it really take an average person to be able to do something like that?
I mean, the average person, it takes about 3 months to develop them and get them ready
do you
to
do it like
college
on a
level skills.
trampoline with like they do dives?
We just have really good spots.
Spotters.
Spotters, yes.
Well, I want you to know that Dr. Drew Brady, our traumatologist, who was a gymnast at Dartmouth at a social event for the doctors, just suit and tie and boom, backflip right there. So once you got it.
Once you got it, right, right.
Once you know how to do it, it's like riding a bike. You just got to get clearance. Although there are several cheerleaders at the University of Delaware who I hold my breath because their clearance is not a whole lot. Okay?
What do you mean clearance?
They're just getting there.
They're just getting there. They're just barely getting enough elevations to be able to get all the way around. And I think that, Ash, if you put on 10 pounds, okay? Have you ever been 10 pounds? Do you have a season flux where you're lighter and heavier?
I've been a little heavier before.
Okay. Was it harder to do your rotations when you were heavier?
I don't think it was, though. I don't think it was hard to do a flip.
Okay. So
I feel like once you have it, you have it.
Hey, wait, I can't ride a bike anymore. I tried, and I fell off and I used to be good at riding a bike. So I don't know about that, Ashley. Ashley, how you stopped for a year and a half, and then you went to Wilmington to get your graduate degree. Now,
undergrad.
Undergrad. How many people did you bring? Did you bring any from down?
Yeah, from our hometown, we have about a total of 6 people.
Oh, cool.
More coming each year. We invite people to come up. They hang out during the year. They come to practices, watch us, and then they come and try out.
Oh, that's great.
They love it.
That's
so
great.
then they invite their friends that they know from home.
I mean,
it's definitely a hotbed in that area of talented cheerleaders.
Now, they speak the same language down there that they do up here. I mean, I know Lower Delaware, is tough. I know Maryland, same thing.
We've come a long way.
And they have all their teeth, too.
Yeah, they do, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about your position on the team. You're a flyer?
Yes.
Which means what?
They throw me in the air and they catch me.
Who catches you?
The guys and some of the girls.
Now, the girls that catch, they have to be a little stronger than the average Yogi Bear, right?
Yep.
Correct.
So how many? You say there's 3 divisions. There's the guys that are the holders, okay? Brad doesn't do any backflips, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he does it all. Okay.
Well, but his predominant role
is strength.
Is support.
Okay, so you got the
he gets a little a little solo action where he gets to do his thing, in conjunction with maybe another guy crossing over in front of you, much like you see. But his major function is to make sure that all those things can go up 3 stories.
All the young ladies go high and they're caught safely.
Yep. So right? the 4 pillars of strength of the guys.
High, yes.
Right? The 4 pillars of strength of the guys.
Correct.
Then how many strength girls do you have?
6.
Okay, so then there's 6 girls that are got some muscle. And then there's the Ashleys. How many Ashleys do you have?
6.
6.
Right.
So they're up 3. So Ashley, you're on top.
Yes,
Okay.
and sometimes there's another girl on top of me.
That's 4.
No, she'll be the second girl up.
She could be the second and someone goes on top of her.
Okay. Did you ever have any accident or any ever? I know there's a lot of. Mike told me
there's injuries.
That cheerleaders per participant hours had the most injuries. Is that true, Mike?
That was true, and it certainly it can be at the high school level. But we've been pretty fortunate. Well, Brad unfortunately has a cast.
I see a cast, right?
First time in 13 years. So
right.
Really?
Knock on wood, doesn't happen again. Yeah.
We have had probably in my career here. How long have you been coaching, Jeff?
This would be my 7th year.
7th year here. I think that we've had maybe 2 medicals that they weren't ready to go into the championship.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
well, that's good coaching too.
It's great spotting. I mean, they teach them. If you saw, you parents out there watching those people go up and down, they really do it right here at Wilmington University. They have mats initially, but the spotters are taught how to be spotters. And what their role is, and they catch pretty well, and at least they deaden the blow. I'm more concerned about the flyers elbowing a spotter than I am about the spotter catching
That's why it's crooked.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Stitches.
crooked. Man, stitches.
Yeah.
That happens.
But so it's a natural reaction for someone to step away when someone's falling at them. We have to teach them to do the opposite, to get in there and catch.
Well, it's amazing that you say that you guys do this, I mean, just with mats, because the only experiences I had, I told you even before our show that, I had seen tri-state cheernastics because my daughter's a cheerleader now at 5, and it's all trampolines, and it's a lot safer. I mean, there's cushions, there's things they don't jump into that they really can't get hurt.
Spring floors.
Doing flips at 5?
She's not flipping yet at 5, but kids are doing flips at 9 and 10. I mean, and maybe
they can
even
do them
younger.
at 5 too.
Wow.
So,
well, yeah, gymnasts are really young. I mean, if they get in high school, they're too old already. I've always seen some of these girls are so young.
It's amazing seeing. That's why I asked both of you, did you do any gymnastics? Because
you
see a lot of that
gymnastics?
transfer in, but
Just
wow.
strictly cheerleading.
just
I mean, our tumbling is not the prettiest as cheerleaders, but Ashley probably has one of the cleanest tumbling on the team, and she doesn't have any gymnastics formal background.
Do you have a gymnastics background?
No, I wrestled in high school and just picked it up in college.
Wow, great job.
is there levels of cheerleading?
Well, college, there's pretty much one level, but before then, when you're in the competitive, like Ashley did All-Stars, then there are different levels 1 through 6.
Well, I know, Ashley, you said you wanted to be a
therapist. No, she's going to be actually guidance counselor.
Guidance
Counselor.
Is there any place for ex-cheerleaders after college to go? I guess, yeah.
What fields of study? Why did you choose counseling? And was there anything that you could have chosen that would have been more consistent with the years you've spent being a cheerleader?
I've always wanted to do it since high school, though. I was really close to my counselor. She helped me out a lot, so that's why I wanted to do it.
And your coach helped you out being a cheerleader, right?
Do you plan on coaching cheerleading?
That's
maybe.
That's the big question, because
No,
that's
what
where
I
you
meant-
see that it seems like everybody that's in cheerleading gives back. It's amazing how many people go right back into coaching in the high school ranks, college ranks. I mean, you cheerleaded in college and now you're a coach, and it seems like it progresses.
What I meant about going on, like, the Los Angeles Lakers cheerleaders or the Eagles cheerleaders. I mean, is that relative or?
Baltimore Ravens are the only
right?
team that has co-ed cheerleading.
I did not know that.
Yep. So that's the only professional.
Have you thought about that,
cheerleading.
actually? The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and stuff. They're really not the same as what you guys do.
We both got asked for Baltimore, and I mean, you were asked for Dallas.
Yeah, I was asked last year to do Dallas, but it's more of dancing. I like
Really?
flipping and getting thrown in the air and doing all that.
I mean, they're even on television now, you know, a reality thing. But that's what I want to know. Like for you, Brad, is there anything that's related? You know, all these athletes want to get into the medical field now to stay involved in sports. But I was wondering if there was anything for you two that is similar.
They're just like Jeff, after being a cheerleader, a lot of them do coach. Ashley and I have coached before. We help teams, we run clinics, things like that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And the one thing about cheerleading business, many people don't know, is it doesn't get affected by the economy because parents want their children active. So when the economy was bad, cheerleading was actually on the rise it's ever been. The past 10 years, cheerleading has been bigger than ever. And
two things, kids and dogs, kids and pets.
Well, you know, but we talked with Brad last year about his business. What is your business in cheerleading?
We rent and sell spring floors, which if you watch the Olympics, the gymnasts who tumble and flip, that's one of the reasons why they go so high. It's because there's actually springs underneath.
Cool, cool.
4-inch springs.
That's cool. Did you ever get involved in an extracurricular business like that, Jeff?
There's a lot of spin-offs.
There's a lot of different spin-offs, right?
Like Dr. Strait said that I used to own Tri-State Gymnastics.
That's right.
And I sold my half to Andy Hoff, who's running it now.
Okay.
So now I work full-time here at the university.
Excellent, excellent. Doing a great job. Two championships.
And how's the spring floors business doing?
Busier than ever. Just like I said, it just keeps growing.
You're exactly right, because I mean, and this is one of the things we talk about on this show a lot now is exercise and keeping your kids active, and I agree with you. I think that's why a lot of parents are taking their kids to gymnastics and cheerleading. It's keeping them active, keeping them moving, building up muscle. I mean, there's a lot of things that are really important from it. So.
Well, you know, it's funny. There's a lot of things that we don't do, and you know, gymnastics is one of the programs that you don't have in high school anymore. Another one is fencing, and anybody that's ever fenced knows that is a strenuous and great exercise.
It is.
And yet, I love it. It's also artistic, but there's no fencing. In Jersey, they have it, but not in Delaware. Maybe it's something to look forward to because we've got a lot of great things here. We're going to be back talking to the championship Wilmington University cheerleading squad.
I know they never make me play with these guys, but why do they make me train like them?
Training hard is important, and for professional athletes, it's their job. But kids aren't professionals and shouldn't train at that level. Keep kids safe on the playing field and out of the operating room. Become an advocate for sports safety. Visit StopSportsInjuries.org.
We're back on Youth in Sports, having a great time with the great Wilmington University cheerleaders.
The national champions.
National champions times two. 2012
and 2013.
We've seen their rings. They're great rings, and they had a great banquet. And Jeff is just seems like a wonderful coach. Ashley came from Maryland and learned everything from
New Jersey.
Jersey.
Kate May, both of them.
Oh, why did I know that? Kate May, that's where,
yeah, we know that.
That's where my daughter was, right?
Yeah, very good.
I'm losing it. I'm going to commit, you know what? Eric Carey, But we're talking to Jeff Martino, Brad Gilbert, and Ashley Unruh. And one of the things about Jeff is, what did I say? Did I get that right?
You got it right. Yeah.
I got it right.
All right.
Unruh. Jeffrey is full-time coach now. And Brad's got his own business, which is kind of unique. Brad, talk about that a little bit. Give yourself a plug.
There's not much of a plug. It's my business is a very niche business. We deal with strictly competition companies, which are companies that hold our national championships that we compete at. I work directly with them, kind of behind the scenes. It's not a very visual company, to be honest. But like I said, it's niche. I have about 4 competitors in the country.
Tell us what you sell, Brad.
What I sell is cheerleading spring floors, and I rent them.
And how big are they?
Any size you want, but a normal size is 54 feet by 42 feet.
Wow.
Well, let's ask this. I mean, I've been to a couple cheerleading competitions in the last few months, so
every week,
every weekend. So they have them at multiple different schools, and they're getting them brought in, I guess. I mean, is this something that people in the state of Delaware can contact your company?
Yes, they can. That's exactly what we do.
How would they reach you?
Our company name is actually Spring Floor Guys. Very easy.
Very original. Very original, Brad.
You're telling me. So, I mean, that's the easiest way. Spring Floor Guys. We are on the internet. It has all the information there.
Well, Jeff, I want to know this. How does someone who wants to be a cheerleader here at Wilmington, how do they get a hold of you?
Jeff's
how do they apply, or what is the process?
Sure. Well, the first thing they want to do is go to our website. It has information about the team. We have a clinic that's held every year that helps train those high school students on what it's like to be a college cheerleader. And then we have the tryout process.
When does that clinic happen?
Last year it happened in February. It was very successful, and we're looking to add one possibly in the fall, around October.
Is it on campus here at Wilmington?
At our new sports complex on Route 40.
And how much does it cost to do that?
It's about $50 per person. You get 3 hours, 2 hours to stunt, and an hour to tumble.
Excellent, excellent. And how young, for example, one of the things I wanted to know was, I played football 2 years at the University of Delaware, and then I couldn't play football anymore. I come here and I meet Brad and I want to cheer. How can I cheer for 3 years?
You can cheer for 5 years.
5 more.
Yeah, we covered that earlier. That they have 5 competitions that they can actively compete in. They can be on the team, but they can only compete at the national competition 5 times. If they're going to do cheer for the basketball team, they could cheer for as long as they're here.
But it's unlike eligibility rules for NCAA.
Yeah, they have to be a full-time student.
It's not like that.
No, it is. They have to be a full-time student.
They have to be a full-time student, which means they have to take 4 classes in the fall, 4 classes in the spring, 12 credits, and participate in our supportive cheerleading. So they can't just do competition. They also have to cheer for the men's and women's basketball.
You do some great other things too. You cheer for fundraisers.
Yes, we do Light the Night in Wilmington. We do Kidney Walk, Separation Day Parade, Sea Witch Parade, and then we do we work Chair for Charity, which is an annual event that I run. And over the 8 years that it's been going on, we raised over $220,000 for AI DuPont Children's Hospital.
And that program is excellent. I was there this past year. The most people I've seen at any cheerleading event that I've been at, food, everything. I mean, it was great. In fact, I could walk up within probably about 20 feet of my daughter cheerleading, watch everything, videotapes of my daughter. It was excellent. Great program.
Thank you. Yeah, well, this year was the highest amount we raised, raising $50,000 this year alone.
And how do you raise the money? What is there fee for the teams to come in and compete?
So every team pays a registration fee. We have an admission price, and then we also started a website where cheerleaders can go before the event and ask friends and family to sponsor them. And that website raised $12,000 on its own before we even started the event.
How about support here at Wilmington?
It's amazing. We get so much recognition. After we won nationals this year, we showed our videotape of our performance to all the administration, all the faculty, even the board of trustees.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
that's great.
The level of support from Dr. Harmon, Dr. Barksdale, Dr. Barcelona is really unmatched.
And you're funded by the school?
Absolutely, 100%. There's no out-of-pocket expenses. Everything's, even meal money when we travel, is covered.
How about classes? Is there any help with assistance in taking classes?
When I started, the scholarship budget was around $17,000. It's more than tripled since I've been here. So that helps offset the tuition.
The school is probably the main priority in my view that we have these 2 rings.
Excellent.
Because of the backing from our school.
You know what I never asked?
One thing that Wilmington does a great job of.
Absolutely.
This university has, that's just, just keeps on going, and there's evidence of it.
Brad, I never asked you what you majored in.
I majored undergrad with sports management, and now I'm a graduate for business management.
Good. Keep in touch with your business.
Which they just started a master's program in sports management this year.
Oh, super. Yeah, we talked about that.
Well, what are you looking to do when you get when I say done and out? When you're done with everything, you looking to do more business stuff?
Continue with my business. It really only happens on the weekends, so from there I have a lot of options of where I want to go. Especially, it's probably going to have something to do with cheerleading, to be honest with you, just because how involved I am and we are all together with cheerleading. That's the best route for us.
Hey, there's a
so
lot
at
of money
35, you think that your predominant source of income will be cheerleading related?
Correct.
There you go. And that says a lot, because how many people in sports right now can say that? If you ask them that question, you can say, a football player, you know, are you going to be involved 35 years from now? Is that your primary income going to be in football? You're going to be a coach? Very few would probably say yes.
I think that if they would like to be, but
yeah, they would like to be, right.
To be able to make a living doing it is tough. And I'm sure that you enjoy your administrative capacities too from here at Wilmington U. That's the other thing. Wilmington U is really good about finding good people, good jobs within the university.
That's a big point. That's a big point. Now, you two guys, would you recommend Wilmington University to your friends? And
oh, yeah.
We already do. Like we said, there's 6 from our
Which I think is the biggest.
Game.
That's the biggest endorsement. Mike always asks a great question of a high school kid. They said, hey.
No, I asked these guys. Suppose you hit the lottery, okay? What would you do? What does a cheerleading team that they don't have right now, what could they use that would make you guys consistently feel good about yourselves?
New floor.
New floor?
New uniforms.
How many uniforms?
Uniforms.
We get everybody a new uniform every year.
No, but how many different uniforms? You have
one male and one female.
Oh, okay. But Mike's question is, would you give back to Wilmington University if you?
Of course.
Yeah.
Where would you put it? And I asked him, most of the guys, if they were football players, obviously not here at Wilmington, but soccer players, they would put it into, well, I'd like to see something more in soccer. Where do you think we could do a little more in cheerleading?
Practice facility.
Honestly,
workout gym.
A gym would be great, but really would be on-campus housing.
Yeah.
Which I feel would result in a lot more recruits coming to Wilmington.
Where would they put it?
That's a good question.
Well, we have to be a campus that isn't a series of small
Well, if he hit the
campuses.
lottery, he'd be able to build it.
Right.
Anywhere he wants.
Practice.
Not after
practice
the government
space.
takes their.
Would you take over? Would you, like St. Andrews, would you put it across from the complex where they have space available on Route 40?
Yeah, because you got.
I mean, even if you started with just even athletic dorms for freshmen only, just something like that, because the hardest thing for our recruits coming in is finding housing, which all of the upperclassmen do help. We do everything we can for our recruits coming in. So
that's a pretty good concept.
Here's one you guys spread it around.
That's a pretty good one.
Young realtor to take care of housing for all your athletes and all your kids, make a fortune.
No, they wouldn't make a fortune.
We have someone, don't we?
Do you?
No, I said I'll do
Well,
it.
Kristen Rudolph, who works in student affairs, she helps with housing and makes the connection to the students and apartment complexes.
I know our apartment complex, they also give Wilmington University students a discount.
Where are you guys? Which one? Cavaliers or?
Barrett's Run.
Yeah.
Barrett's Run, right by the new complex. Right.
You know, one of the first, when I was in real estate, one of the first things I would tell, and in fact, when Mike's kids became college, I told him, I said, the best thing to do is to buy either a condo or a house. Your kid will have it for 4 or 5 years. And with Mike, he had 3 kids. They can either share or, you know, as it goes. And then you're easy to sell. Because one of the things you find, like at the University of Delaware, especially when my daughter was down there, is they charge. You know, and you're paying the graft for not the greatest accommodations in the world. But if you get your own, fix it up, take care of it, it's a great investment.
The problem with that is taking care of it and the control of freshmen who, for the first time, are escaping
away from
their
home,
thumb of their parents.
You're right.
They definitely need to mature. But if you have a situation in which you have the RA that's actually in there and taking care of it, and I think that you probably could. I think that that's not a bad idea to talk to Dr. Barcelona about. I think that that's probably something that would fly.
It would help every sports team.
Freshman athletes, I think you hit on something that makes pretty good sense, and he's a really sensible guy. And we want to thank him again. This is our last show of the spring season, and we couldn't do it without the folks here.
How long have we been here?
At least 5 years.
5 years.
Jeff Allen's on drums, and Keith has been on bass, and Calvin's been on pipes, I guess, or whatever, back there teaching the students. And we want to thank them again for helping us so much. I
think it's a great program, and when we come in September and have a new meeting, I've got all kinds of ideas that I shared with minus 50 here. Yep. And I think some of them are good, especially for the students that are in here.
And Scott Shaw on website.
There you go.
We thank him for his work as well. And congratulations again to this outstanding club sport that's a real sport that we have at Wilmington University that does some special things. Where can they see your performances one more time, Jeff?
Varsity.com.
Varsity?
Varsity.com.
Varsity.com, and they go to?
UCA College Nationals and search Wilmington University, and you'll see our 3 performances from Saturday.
And which was the best one? Which was the best performance?
Finals was our best performance.
That's what you need. Did you have a shaky second performance like last year?
Semifinals was pretty decent, but finals, they just walked out on the floor and they owned it.
There you go.
There you go. That sounds like a repeat of the 2012 National Championship.
We applaud you. 2 years in a row. It's excellent.
We're going to make it 3.
Make it 3, right?
Why only 9 teams? Sounds like you'd think that more schools would want to compete. They just don't get it done, and I
just don't have the backing like we do from.
Oh, well, there you go. Thank you, Dr. Harmon, Cunningham, Barcelona, and the Board of Trustees for making Wilmington University's cheerleading team the best in 2013. Walter, another great season.
Join us on the web, www.youthinsports.com.
Thanks for having you, man.
Thanks for being here.
What does opportunity mean to you? At Wilmington University, it means finding your relevance in the job market. That's why we offer career-oriented degree programs that meet employment needs in emerging fields. Dedicated professors bring their real-world experience into the classroom so you'll graduate with the tools you need to succeed on the job. It's your degree. Make it relevant to your career. Personalized education, affordable tuition, that's the difference at Wilmington University.
This show was sponsored by ATI, the company taking physical therapy to a higher level throughout the country. First State Orthopedics, where Youth in Sports hosts Drs. Straight and Axe are members of the team taking care of Delaware with a commitment to excellence. And President Jack Barcelona and his Wilmington University College of Technology, where each semester this student-run program is produced, directed, edited, and distributed under the guidance of the TV production faculty. Each guest receives a copy of the show, and all shows are available on the web at youthinsports.com.